I got into investing, actually I never really thought of it. I always wanted to become an engineer, and it just so happened that in the early mid-80s, after I had done my military service, I had to wait for a year to get into business school, and I ended up going to a barber who cut my hair. He was an old gentleman. We sort of quite enjoyed each other's companies, and I'm just telling what I was studying, and after a few months he asked me, "Christian, where do you want to work this summer?" And I said, I have no clue, I haven't really thought about it. And he said, "Well, would you like to work in the stock exchange?" And I said, "Sure, but I don't really know what stocks or equities are." He said, "That doesn't matter. All you need to do is to make sure you have a CV. By the way, do you own a suit?" I said, "Sure." A few days later he called me up, and I went over to Harry, and it was one of these old gentlemen's barbershops, and basically he turned the sign around and closed the place for a while, and we walked over to the stock exchange. What I didn't know was that Harry, my barber, he had made an appointment with the head of recruitment at the stock exchange, and of course in those days there were less applicants for every job, and we walked in, and he introduced himself, and worked slightly different in those days, but basically contacts made a big difference. And my barber, he knew a lot of people in the stock exchange, and it just so happened that I ended up as what they call a recording secretary in the exchange during summer. So there was no open outcry system, and you had three people who recorded each trade as stocks were called out, and I was one of these three people, and I really enjoyed it. It was exciting, really quite lively. Nowadays, of course, all the trading on stock exchanges are done online, but in those days it was more people with calling out prices and paper notes and so on. But it was exciting. Anyway, I really enjoyed the kind of atmosphere, and it actually prompted me to change my direction in uni. Maybe I was going into marketing initially, having sort of sidestepped engineering, and I became more hardcore in finance, and I did a degree in financial economics.